So should we move on to Planetary? Rabble, I think, has seen you around.
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. So we also
I,
reached, I should say, this is not supposed to be entirely an activity pub conference, right? The Fediverse could potentially have all sorts of protocols in it. And we did reach out to a number of non-activity pub centered focus protocols. Not all of them responded, but Rabble did. So I'm very happy that you're here to show us Planetary.
so I'm going to show, let's see if, does this work? Are you guys seeing my phone? It does not appear to be working. Um, I'm supposed to be able to share my phone. Allow.
Here, yeah, that
You guys
looks like
see
a
my,
phone.
okay. So I'm going to show two different apps here. First, I'm going to show Planetary. This is our secure scuttlebutt app. Secure scuttlebutt is a peer-to-peer decentralized offline first app, and it has a bunch of things that the Fediverse doesn't. So it handles abuse and harassment in different ways. The content is directly hosted on your devices. There's a signed log, and Scuttlebutt's been around for a bunch of years, and so this is the Planetary app. There's another app called Miniverse, but what people probably don't know is the Scuttlebutt people community has come to a bit of a dead end in terms of its own protocol, and that's because getting data on devices has been too hard. Punching through firewalls to get our net connections working has been too hard, and we couldn't support multi-device. So your keys were on specific devices, and it was a bit of a stuck system. So one of there's a couple projects that have come around to try and solve this. One is what Andre Stoltz is calling as Scuttlebutt 2 or PPP or Starfish. We don't even have a name for it, but the idea is to develop a version of secure Scuttlebutt that doesn't need the whole feeds and doesn't need to be on devices. What I've been actually working on developing is moving to another protocol, which is very similar to secure Scuttlebutt, called Noster, which a bunch of you have probably heard of. And so I just switched apps, and this is nos.social, which is basically the same UI, but on a different network. And so you can you can search for users, you can see their posts, this kind of thing. The thing about Noster is it uses these things called relay server. So it feels like it's a halfway between the Fediverse and secure Scuttlebutt. Your identity still exists on keys on your device, but instead of being able to write to just one device, you actually can choose multiple ones. Now, if you see here on the top here, like it says extended network, I've actually turned off all the different servers because we have a bug where it overconnects. But it looks very much like Scuttlebutt. Functionally, it works the same as secure Scuttlebutt. But one thing we've got going is we could never run a Fediverse gateway with ActivityPub on Scuttlebutt because the Fediverse cares very much about delete, and secure Scuttlebutt is an immutable protocol. And I wanted to show you this because this is me in Noster looking at content that's being posted from the Fediverse. So this is people using Mastodon posting content that have chosen to bridge it, and see here's a, this is a totally Mastodon content, Mastodon people, and but let's see. Here's another person I follow. They're following me on ActivityPub on their Mastodon, and I'm following them on Nostr. And the delete requests follow back and forth in the follow. There's a few things like some of the identity stuff doesn't quite work quite yet. So just so why use this instead of instead of just using ActivityPub? And I think the answer is that we wanted a system which put users empowered, and so the users in this app have the same sort of degrees of separation model of secure scuttlebutt, but unlike Mastodon, you can basically choose to put your content on multiple servers at the same time. So it sort of inverts the power dynamic, and that means that we can have overlays of stuff more easily, things like end-to-end encryption for private messages, or the relays support, they're very dumb, so they support any kind of message type, as opposed to just textual messages. And so, there's the other thing that I think is a difference is that there's a cultural difference in terms of some of the users on this. There are a lot of cryptocurrency folks and a lot of Bitcoiners. One of my things I needed to do before I considered building on it was making sure that I could build a system where we weren't seeing, like, users didn't have to ever see that stuff. They didn't have to use it. It doesn't actually use any cryptocurrency or payments or mining in the protocol, but users can link to that stuff. And I think that,
excellent.
Yeah. So I'd love to talk to people more about it and get more in depth. So it's also like 3 a.m. for me here, so I'm a little tired.
Right, we should give extra praise here and extra applause to Rabble and Akira, who have coming in from time zones that we explicitly decided we were not going to focus on this time around, but I came anyway to demo. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's great.